Hey everyone, and welcome to this explainer. If you're looking to get your business's standalone iOS app live on the App Store, you're in exactly the right place. Today, our mission is pretty simple. We're going to be demystifying exactly how Apple developer enrollment works. I know, dealing with tech bureaucracy can kind of feel like navigating a maze blindfolded, but I promise you, by the end of this explainer, you're going to have total clarity. Okay, let's dive right into this. So here is our strategic roadmap for today. We'll quickly cover Welcome to the Club, the 5 essential ingredients, decoding the DUNS number, step-by-step enrollment, and finally, crossing the finish line. All right, let's jump straight into Section 1, Welcome to the Club. We're looking at understanding Apple's strict entry requirements. So think of the App Store as, well, an extremely exclusive VIP club. And Apple, they're the bouncer at the door, and they have incredibly strict rules for who gets to step inside. Now, you've poured your sweat and tears into your business, and obviously, you want to provide your clients with a top-tier experience through your very own standalone iOS app. It's a massive milestone. But to actually get that app into the hands of your customers, we have to play by Apple's rules and set up your own developer account first. The first thing you need to know about this VIP club is the cover charge. Enrolling in the Apple Developer Program comes with a mandatory $99 annual publisher fee. And just to be clear, this isn't a one-and-done thing. It's a yearly subscription that gets billed directly by Apple to maintain your developer account and, keep your app live and accessible to all your users. But here is the absolute most crucial point. Your business simply must be recognized as a legal entity. We're talking a corporation, a limited partnership, or a limited liability company, an LLC. Apple explicitly rejects DBAs, fictitious businesses, trade names, or branches. No exceptions. They require this because you're entering into binding legal terms and obligations with them. So you can't just use a catchy trade name here. You absolutely need the official legal paperwork to back it all up. Moving on to Section 2, 5 essential ingredients, gathering your inventory before you begin. Listen, before you even think about clicking that enroll button, you have to gather your tools for the mission. These are the 5 absolute prerequisites you gotta have ready to go. First, an actual physical Apple device like an iPhone or a Mac, because you need it for Apple's mandatory 2-factor authentication. Second, a business Apple ID. Third, a business domain email. Fourth, a DUNS number. And fifth, a business website URL, which has to be publicly available and share the exact domain name associated with your organization. Okay, right here, this is where so many people trip up. Apple expects a really high level of professionalism from a legal entity. If you try to use a generic email provider like, say, Gmail, Hotmail, or Yahoo, Apple is going to automatically reject it. No way around it. You must have a private business domain email, something like name@yourbusiness.com. And along those same lines, you really need to separate your personal life from your business life here. You might already have a personal Apple ID you use for your own iPhone, right? Well, you actually need to create a completely distinct business Apple ID. This new ID has to be tied specifically to that business domain email address we literally just talked about. Apple's going to use this specific ID to bill your annual $99 fee and send you all the critical updates about your app. All right, Section 3, decoding the DUNS number, the ultimate VIP pass for your business. I actually want to slow down our pace just a little bit right here because historically, this is the biggest obstacle for small businesses navigating this whole process. So, what exactly is a DUNS number? Well, it's a unique 9-digit numeric identifier assigned to a business by a company called Dun & Bradstreet. Because Apple operates globally, they use this trusted third-party system to validate your business's identity and its legal status. You literally cannot enroll in the Apple Developer Program without one of these. You can just use the DUNS lookup tool online to see if you already have one, or you can request a new one directly through Dun & Bradstreet if you don't. Let me repeat this next part because it is absolutely vital. Your legal entity name has to match its entry in the DUNS lookup exactly. I mean, exactly. If your DUNS profile says Fitness Studio LLC and you accidentally type the Fitness Studio LLC into Apple's portal, the enrollment will fail right then and there. We've actually seen apps delayed for weeks just because somebody forgot a single comma that was on their official paperwork. The information linked to your DUNS number must be completely identical to the information you submit to Apple. Okay, Section 4, Step-by-Step Enrollment, executing the mission in the Apple portal. So now that we have our inventory gathered and our DUNS number secured, it's time for tactical execution. Here are the 6 core actions you're going to take sequentially in the Apple Developer Portal. First, go to the enrollment page, click Start, and log in with that brand new Business Apple ID. Second, verify your identity using the two-factor authentication code they'll send to your Apple device. Third, when they ask for your entity type, make sure to select company/organization. Fourth, you're going to confirm your authority to sign. Fifth, you'll enter all your organization info. And finally, you just submit it all for review. See, you're totally prepared for this. Now, this process actually forks a bit during Step 4, the Authority to Sign Legal Agreements section, and it really depends on who is actually filling out the form. If you are the owner or founder with the authority to bind the organization to legal agreements, you just select that option and enter your private work email. Easy. But if you're an authorized employee doing this on behalf of the business, you have to enter the contact information for a senior employee so Apple can actually reach out to them and confirm. When you hit Step 5 and start entering your organization's info, like your perfectly matched legal name and your website, you're also going to be asked for a headquarters phone number. Please do not put down a fake, generic, or unmonitored phone number. Why? Because an actual real human being from Apple is going to physically call that number to verify your enrollment. Honestly, it's a beautifully old-school security check for a trillion-dollar tech company. And that brings us to Section 5, crossing the finish line, securing your account and next steps. You've successfully navigated the maze. So what happens next during this debrief phase? Well, first you'll get an email from Apple letting you know your enrollment has been received. After they finish doing their verification, which includes that phone call we talked about, they're going to send you a link to finally pay your $99 fee. And here is a massive recommendation derived straight from the source material. Enable auto billing for this membership. Seriously, if you forget to pay it manually next year, your developer account lapses and Apple will literally pull your app offline. So protect your investment right now by automating that payment. So to wrap things up, your post-enrollment tasks are incredibly simple. Wait for the email and the phone call, pay the fee, and finally, add your software partner, like Glowfox or whoever your actual developer is, as an admin on your brand new Apple developer account. This is that crucial handoff moment where the actual app creation begins. As a neat little side note here, if you're also launching an Android app, you actually don't even have to jump through all these hoops. Companies like Glowfox generally manage the Android side under their own Google Play accounts. Apple just uniquely requires you to own your own slice of their ecosystem. You've gathered the ingredients, you conquered the mighty DUNS number, and you successfully navigated the portal. You are officially in the VIP club. So, I guess the only question left to ask is this. Now that you have unfiltered access to millions of iOS users, what kind of digital empire are you going to build?